What's going on, everybody? It's Tom.
And it's Jamie. Welcome to the Chronicles of Podcast.
The Chronicles of 2000 Trees 2024.
I am Lewis.
I'm Lily.
We are
The Meffs.
Hey! Alright, what's going on then?
not much. You?
How was your personal Saturdays treating you?
I keep forgetting it's Saturday.
Yeah, I mean,
it feels weird. Last day of the festival.
Is it not Thursday?
Yeah.
Let me just check my emails.
Damn it.
What are days anyway? Right?
Yeah,
Overrated.
We don't know days.
Yeah.
That's right, Lily. I wasn't even hinting at that either. I wasn't. That genuinely was not a dig. I swear down. I just wanted to know how you said.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm not kicking her. I swear I'm not kicking her at all.
He is.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I didn't realise that.
I didn't realise.
Yeah, sorry, I was just filming, by the way, to let you know. There's a camera there. Just to let you know, there's a camera. I actually meant to ask before I started. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay. That's fine. So I mean, it's just the whole time as well. Okay. How was your set on the main stage?
Oh, it was amazing, wasn't it? It was like, we genuinely thought 11 o'clock, first band opening the main stage. We got no hope, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or little hope. But no, the turnout was great, it was massive.
Yeah, it was really good.
Really game, wasn't
A
it?
lot of familiar faces and lots of new faces, and yeah, they gave us a great response after every song. And we got them moving as well, didn't we?
We did, we got them moving, we got them on the floor. That was all
Nice.
good. Yeah.
Got him to speak out as well. I heard that. Got him to speak out.
Oh, yeah, you did, yeah.
I saw that. Yeah, it was great.
They
They did that good on
Yeah.
the first try.
They did
That was
actually.
loud.
I still made
But we
it
always
do
give them a
twice.
second go. Yeah.
Beautiful. But for a Meffs show compared to a Meffs festival set, do you change set lists accordingly so people aren't so familiar with yourselves? Say you want to drop all the bangers in to draw more people in?
We do make it more lively, like, because we've got a couple of songs that we love playing, but it depends on the festival. Like, we got a few heavier songs that, for example, we didn't play today.
Okay.
Because we're on at 11 o'clock and we know
Yeah.
the festival's like quite eclectic, so we kept it very sort of lively. Is that about
But when
right?
we're doing like tour up, like we did No Effects,
Yeah.
everyone there's all skate punk mad and
Yeah.
loves fast and just.
Yeah.
So we'll chuck all the fast ones
Yeah.
in, fast heavy ones in. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so it does depend.
Amazing. So us as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you familiar with Sophie's story in the foundation?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So what we're doing this weekend, we're basically just chatting to bands to find out, because we are all one big alternative family here. Have you experienced that where you've been treated differently, had stereotypes put against you, whatever it may be, simply because of the music you're listening to?
I've definitely going through school, 100%.
Oh yeah.
To the point where I, forced myself to listen to stuff that I wasn't really that keen on.
No way.
Oh,
Yeah, just so I could sort of, probably not get bullied.
Almost like,
Yeah.
like doing
I went
it
from
before it
watching
even
Kerrang
happened.
and Scuzz to watching Channel U.
Oh man.
Yeah, just trying to sort of, it was,
That's such bullshit, though.
It
because I was
is,
a.
it is.
Sorry, Liz. I was just
It's all right, mate.
the answer. That was all.
No, definitely happened. But no.
You don't, yeah.
I won't let anyone do it now. So,
No.
no.
They want to try. Do you know what happens when they try?
Yeah.
I'd say, what about yourself? But I guess you just scared them all off from that response.
Yeah, no, I was very quiet. I was actually a super quiet
downer
kid.
on the chat.
Yeah. I was very quiet. I was a grunger, I guess they used to say, didn't they?
Grunger back in the day.
Yeah.
When
Big
Grunger.
flared trousers,
Grunger.
my rock boots, my drawn on face.
Yeah.
I used to draw on spiders' webs. I know there's people here doing it as well, and that's absolutely cool. It's not my vibe anymore, but I did it, and people do judge you, don't they? Like, you say you like Slipknot when you're 12, and people are like, "Oh, dirty Grebo."
Yeah.
And you're like,
used to get
if
shredded.
it was now, I'd be like, yeah. I am.
Is there a problem? Or?
Is that a compliment or like? Yeah.
We had one yesterday that was like, Blink 182. Are you just that screamo? Like,
Yeah.
Blink. Are you for real? If you're gonna insult us, at least get it right. Fuck me.
Screamo.
I remember putting on The Offspring in one of the pubs that I used to drink in, and it was like one of the liveliest, chirpiest songs, and just because one of the chavvy lads was like, God, this is like, I want to cut my wrist to this. I was like,
What to the
Offspring?
Offspring? Go are you, mate? Just like, no, cut your wrist music.
What is wrong?
Like,
with
oh,
you?
I've
Like,
never-
where
Pretty
did
fly for a white guy.
they- Have you seen them video.
Don't drink your snake bite and black over there.
Snake bite and black.
You
Fucking
know,
hell.
you know. Oh man.
Fucking hell, I haven't done that in a while. But obviously, when we were growing up and when what happened to Sophie, it's a very different world we're in now. So looking at 2024, do you think it's easier to be part of this community now than it was back then? Or still work to do?
I'd like to say 100% yes, but also, like I said earlier, I'm in my 30s now, and obviously we don't experience probably what the youngsters are like. So for all I know, it could still be the same for young people. I don't know. Hopefully not. But yeah, I haven't experienced stuff like that in a long time.
I think it is different now because like part of this scene has become the mainstream, right? So it is like you can go to school now and you can say you like X, Y, and Z, and probably there's a load of other kids in your class who like X, Y, and Z as well.
Yeah.
Whereas I think back then, like you say, like if you didn't fit into that, like I can't even think of the names of people, but like if you didn't like that sort of stuff, then you were different, and that was it. Whereas now I think there's loads of difference. So it's maybe easier, but I think the internet makes it harder now. I'd say that's where it's not easier. I think it's easier to slate people online now, which is difficult for kids and adults. So
Absolutely. It's something else we've discussed this weekend is how the internet is very much a double-edged sword these days. It's like, oh, I can find people like-minded, I can find my family. At the same time, you are way open to utter assholes.
Yep, literally.
Oh
Yeah.
We get that.
Get a few trolleys on the old YouTube, didn't we?
We get trolls on YouTube.
Yeah.
Fun.
Get people fighting back. Our favourite one was the lesbian and the Jew, How Punk. And we were like,
What?
One of our music videos, and just went, oh look, a lesbian and a Jew, how punk rock.
he's not a lesbian, by
I'm
the way.
not a lesbian,
He's straight.
Lily's not a Jew.
No, and I'm not a Jew.
Not
So,
that it matters, but
yeah, exactly. But we're not, so get it right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's facts, by the way. It's actually facts. That did happen.
Bringing it back to yourselves, you guys have 2 huge tours coming up, supporting Frank Turner.
yes.
And then Alice Cooper as well, which I will see you at in Birmingham, by the way.
Yeah, go on.
How excited are you for these two tours?
Oh, buzzing. We are so excited to be playing with Frank. We've worked with Frank. We finally got to meet most of the band when we were doing no effects shows with them, and got on so well with them like that.
Yeah.
We're so excited to be playing with them guys for the next couple of weeks. We're very excited after playing in Europe to be having much shorter drives.
I can imagine.
Oh, much shorter. Oh my
It's going to be
God.
fun.
Yeah.
No.
And then Alice.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the arena, like playing arenas, we've never actually played like academy sizes really. We've never done like a tour where we play like mid sizes. So going from like 200 caps to an arena, it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be
excited.
amazing.
I need 3 microphones on that stage, not just 2 now. I got my miles.
You're going to walk into an academy show and go, is this it?
Yeah.
Fuck's everyone.
I'm
bigger than this now, come on.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. Don't tempt me.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, phenomenal. God, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with us today. It means the absolute world. It's been incredible.
Lovely to meet you.
Appreciate it.
Again.
Yes, cheers, man.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Will do.
Hi, I'm Kira from Problem Patterns.
I'm Alana from Problem Patterns.
We're Problem Patterns.
And it's an absolute fucking pleasure to have you here as well. You may swear if you wish to do so, just to let you know.
Oh, good, because
All right.
I am a nightmare.
Yeah, do we start going, gutters and rainbows. Like, oh, I can't believe it.
Alana's Canadian,
So I'm just like, frig off, man.
Trained in it, love it.
that's what
Perfect.
sold me on our friendship. Like, we were working in a cafe together, and Alana was like, ah, God, he's such a wiener. And I was like, yep, yep, I'm in, I'm all in. But she was so mad. She was like, oh.
It was genuine rage.
That's Canadian, right?
Yeah.
That is incredible.
If Alana calls you a wiener, you're fucked.
Ah, shit. Okay, we got 7 minutes or so. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. How are your personal Saturdays treating you?
Fantastic. We're having a great time. I love this festival.
Yeah, like it's so lovely here. Like loads of our friends are here, and it's like nice and warm, and we just had like a really nice wake up.
Yeah,
Had
we've
some
already seen Michael, Sarah Palin, and they were fantastic.
Yeah, good.
completely packed out 10. It was nice to see. Everyone here gets up early for music too.
Yeah,
Which
so
is cool.
that's one thing I love about this festival is some people could be on the stage for 10:30 and they go, "Oh fuck, it's early." Like, I don't believe. Everyone will still show up, no matter how hungover, how tired, how fucked off people are. They will still be there. It's
I
wonderful.
really love that about this festival.
Yeah, it's
like,
great.
We played at 2:30 or 12:30 yesterday, and I was like, oh god, like
Yeah.
we're not gonna have a single sinner, but packed tent, and like
It's one of our biggest crowds we've had.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How was the set yesterday?
amazing. Yeah, I was like quite overwhelmed by the fact that our tent was full. I thought there'd be like 5 people, and like we're not both playing to 5 people. We do it all the time, so those 5 people have a great time, and we love it. But yeah, just seeing all those people out there was quite overwhelming, but it was really affirming and nice. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of our friends in the audience too, which is quite nice, like both musical and non-musical. So, you know, it's nice to be able to play to them.
I saw other half joined you on stage as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're in a bit of like a best friendship with them. Like we went on tour, we went on a 6-date tour with them, and we just became best friends with them. It's weird, like, you know, in this kind of industry, I feel like friends and community is all you have, because you couldn't do this for the money or for
100%.
the
Yeah.
you have to love it. And when you meet people like that who really get you, like there's loads of bands here that we've met through gigging, like, you know, that just really mean a lot to us, and it just really helps. So yeah, we joined other half on stage and they joined us,
Oh.
just for a laugh.
Superb. I fucking love that shit. But compared to a problem pattern show, to a festival set, then do you change your set this up accordingly? So people might be so familiar with yourselves, it's like, let's just drop all the bangers in, all the more well-known ones to draw more people in.
I think we actually kind of play the same set. It's more depending on time that we have.
Okay.
So we have like a half-hour slot that we usually do. And I think the only difference is us trying to navigate a bigger stage, because our leads are very short and we like running around. And we have had issues before where we've played these big stages and Bev and Carol run at each other with their guitar and bass, and they unplug, and then one of them's running back to plug in and the other one's running the other way, and I'm just in the middle of my microphone like, oh no.
I did get a 20-inch lead for Glastonbury, so I'm actually fine now.
You're all sorted for festival season.
Forward
we have
thinking,
learned our
like
lesson.
it.
But yeah, it's normally like a 50 capacity punk venue with like, where you're like this close and you're trying to hold your guitars. For anyone listening, that's like 1 inch between us.
And that's in the bigger venues.
That's the bigger venues, yeah.
So, as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you aware of Sophie and her story?
Yes, and it is horrendous.
It is truly, absolutely
No, it's-
horrendous. But one thing we're trying to do when we're talking to people this weekend is basically find out, because we are all one big alternative community, have you guys ever had that where you've been treated differently or had stereotypes put upon you simply because of the music you're listening to, the way you're dressed, and for being part of this community? Is that something you've had to experience?
1,000,000%. I grew up in a small rural town in Ontario, a very like farm-driven community, and I was, you know, even like I was wearing Weezer shirts and people called me a goth. You know, it was that kind of place. It was that kind of place. Anything remotely alternative, you were like X'd out. I was also like, I'm a late bloomer neurodivergent person, as there are many of us that have come out recently, and I didn't really understand that at the time, so I was kind of like naturally outcast, very like not trying to be weird. I thought I was following the social cues perfectly, but just no one else was getting it, and I was like, I'm just copying what I saw on Degrassi and all the other teenage school, you know, shows. I was like, I'm doing what they're doing. Why isn't anyone understanding me? And yeah, like I was like, you know, I didn't think I was that different, and it was more in hindsight. You kind of look through your yearbook and you're like, oh, I get it.
I mean, Degrassi, what a Canadian reference.
Yeah. She's the Canadian queen, to be fair. But we have to keep her sort of tethered to her hometown in some way.
To be able to get a few Canadian references per interview, I have a quota.
Yeah. To be fair, we were playing in Letterkenny, which is like a rural Irish town, and we weren't dressed any particular way, and a guy shouted goths at us at like late 20s and 30s years old. So, I mean, these people exist.
That's it. It's like, I turned 38 next week, and this guy shouted goths at us in the street, and he literally looked like he played in a metal band too. I'm like, are you negging me?
Yeah, he had like a leather trench coat and long hair, and we were like, no, you're a goth.
You're the goth in Letterkenny.
There's goth wars back in Ireland you don't even know about.
Shouting it back at each other across the street.
It'll be a documentary soon.
Yeah.
I have a very like specific core memory, especially of like just with the whole they took anything kind of slightly different. Like my friend was wearing a yellow Jimi Hendrix shirt, and his nickname became Piss Shirt. Like that. It was that kind of thing. Like it was just literally anything that was not a cowboy hat and plaid.
One of my best friends at school had long hair, and they called him Sherlock Holmes, which I actually think's great.
I hate it when I find the nickname.
I know, you're like, damn, that's good. Like, that is good. Like,
I told someone one earlier that I had when I was a kid, and he had to try so hard not to laugh. But when I was young, I had someone come, because I had long black hair and everything, I had someone come, where'd you come from? Gotham City. See? Even I was like, you're trying to offend me, but that's hilarious, bravo.
I know,
that's good.
yeah.
But obviously when we were growing up, and when what happened to Sophie, it's a very different world now.
Yeah.
So now looking at the world in 2024, do you think it's easier to be part of this community, especially for young people, or is there still more challenges and work to do out there, do you reckon?
I think it's definitely more accessible because of things like social media. Obviously there's bad things that come along with social media, but it's also made different communities more accessible to people that may have not been able to find them before. Like I said, I grew up in a very small town, and if I had, it changed my life when I started going to gigs and started meeting like-minded people that were as passionate about music as I was.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like, the same with alternative community, alternative music. It's just you have kind of a bigger space in the world to meet other people like that and be a part of it.
It's definitely become, I think it's a lot harder to tell the difference as well now because, things like piercings, tattoos, coloured hair, when I was younger, that was definitely, a marker where they've become more mainstream these days. I don't think it bothers people as much, although I do, you can still, I don't know, there's still that little bit of sort of animosity, is that the word? Towards people who are, genuinely alternative and stuff, but it seems better, but I don't know if that's because of, we're not teenagers anymore. I don't know.
I think for sure there's definitely going to still be pockets and communities where they are still maligned, for sure. You see little kids in Belfast and stuff, again, as an adult woman, they'll be wee gangs of boys that are like, oh, you go. Yeah. Not with that accent. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at accent.
Are you a goth? It's more like that.
That's what they sound like.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back to yourselves. You released your latest single, I Think You Should Leave, back at the end of June. How's that been received? How's it gone down with the fans?
It's actually been, it's been really well received, I think. It was weird because we wrote it to a really tight deadline. We were commissioned to write a song about Antrim, which is the county that Belfast is in Northern Ireland, which is where we're from. And so we had a 2-week turnaround or something, and we had to go to our label and be like, oh, by the way, we're going to throw out this single in 2 weeks and stuff. So it was all very tight turnaround, but it's been really well received. We were really worried because when you put your debut album out, there's always that feeling of what happens after it, and to let go of that era that you're in for so long. We were in the Blouse Club era for 2 years nearly when it comes to writing it and recording it and putting it out. So moving past that has felt really weird, but actually quite relieving because I think putting something out right after your debut album when it's well received, you just hope that people still connect to what you're saying. I mean, we do the band for ourselves, but I think it's nice to know because a lot of our fan base is based in England mostly, so it's nice that it's connected with people at home because it is about Belfast, and Antrim. So for people to actually be listening to us talk about our hometown but over here has been nice because I think people are getting a perspective on Belfast they maybe didn't have before, and we have 4 very different perspectives on it. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's nice that people are caring about it.
Did you say you were commissioned to write the song?
Yeah, so it's weird. So RTE, which is the Irish BBC, wrote to us, and they were doing a little radio show where they asked, there's 32 counties in Ireland, and they asked every county to write a different song, and they asked us, and we were like, are they sure they want to ask us?
When you think about kind of radio programs, you would think kind of more folk artist or something like that, something a bit softer for the radio.
Yeah, but I think maybe with Belfast's rich punk history, they thought, we'll give them a chance. And they let us do whatever we wanted, really, so which is good.
It gave us a lot of leeway, and we also, Kira said this before, but we didn't want to be part of it if it didn't feel authentic to us. We didn't want to just write it for the sake of being commissioned, but we did want to finally kind of write a song about Belfast because we've never done that before. And I'm not even from Belfast, but I moved there knowing very little of it, and I've been learning on the ground since I've been there, and I've been learning a lot from my bandmates, and it's just been really nice to see it received outside of Belfast. Again, from people who don't know so much about it.
Yeah, it's nice to be putting Belfast on the map a wee bit.
Mate, your contribution to the lyrics. Tell the children to stop shouting goth at me.
That's the secret fifth verse, yeah.
Oh. Thank you so much for sitting down chatting with us today. It means the absolute world. We've got an absolute blast.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you so much. We're going to the next
We're
one.
crossing. Thank you so much.
I'm James
And I'm Oliver.
Wonderful.
from the band Indoor Pets.
Lovely stuff. An absolute pleasure to have you guys. Thank you so much for joining
Thanks for
us.
having us.
First thing first, how's your personal Saturday?
Our Saturday's good. It's been quite long. We were up at 6 a.m. this morning.
Oh, why?
Yeah. 1:30 stage time, so we had to. And we're.
What was it?
Yeah.
Want to be really prepared by waking up 7.5 hours early. Yeah.
And then we got multiple pickups within the band, so yeah, it was.
We came from
drive
Kent
up. We feel great.
to
I feel great.
Kingston to Richmond to here.
But yes,
How did you go today?
Yeah.
Yeah, just today.
Oh,
we
shit.
wanted to come Thursday for Gaslight and Manchester Orchestra specifically.
I really wanted to come to it.
I
had
was
work.
moving house, so I couldn't.
Oh fuck! Was all good?
Screwed by life.
Well, I've moved all my stuff out my old house. I don't have a new house.
Wait, what?
Well, you
He's
know,
currently homeless. He's
I'm
a
just
homeless.
winging it. Well, if England win tomorrow, then I'm not going to go home for 3 days, so I'll save myself a bit of rent.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So we should be alright.
We're all good. It's
I'm here
fine.
today. Somewhere last night.
Yeah, it's no problem, is it?
If England lose, you can do the exact same things,
England
but in
lose, I'm just
commiseration.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
Like
Phenomenal.
that kid that walked to Ibiza, I might do that.
Yeah.
Spain.
Oh yeah. Fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, he walked to Ibiza. And then he started doing one where he like walks to the Euros, to the final. So he's like somewhere in Germany at the moment.
No
to get to
way.
the final tomorrow.
Man, I mean, fair play.
Yeah. How's your Saturday?
So, do you know what? No one's asked us. That's
Are they not?
no.
really?
Do you know what? Yeah, it's all right. We're fucking loving it. We're
both
gutted
good?
it's the last day already.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you go, fuck, it's Tuesday week. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. You get there on Wednesday, like, yes, it's gonna be crap. What do you mean it's over? I've just got it. What do you mean?
Too quick, isn't it?
It's absolutely
It
mental.
needs to be like a week long, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
like South by.
They should add the Sunday.
Yeah.
They should definitely
Yeah,
add the
they need to add the
Sunday and
Sunday,
then maybe
don't they?
stretch to the Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's never end.
Yeah.
Get here in April.
That would be unbelievable. I'd love it. So you got the set with 1:30. How was it?
It was good. It was. We're a bit out of shape. We haven't played a festival for like 5 years, I think, at this point.
Oh
I
fuck!
think this will be one of the last festivals we played.
It probably was, wasn't it? I think.
It must have been
No, I
like
think we did Leeds.
Yeah, we're in
Spinning
Leeds, but this it'll be like that year that I was at last.
Yeah,
where we
yeah,
actually did
yeah,
festivals.
yeah.
This would have been then.
So it's probably been 5 years.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
2019.
Before COVID, yeah.
Oh, fair play. Any reason behind that, or just?
We took a bit. So we sort of agreed after the first record that we were going to have a bit of a gap because we did 7 years full on
Oh, okay.
hammering it to try and push it as hard as we could, and we agreed we'd have I think we agreed on like 18 months or something, and my brother Rob, who's the drummer, had sort of promised his girlfriend as part of never seeing her for 7 years was that he'd take her travelling
Okay.
for a while, and they had planned to do that, and then COVID happened, and so they couldn't travel.
shit.
We couldn't really be a band. Like we were trying to be a band. I think we did one socially
Yeah, it's
distanced
really, we
thing.
weren't really into like the.
Like, live shows are about like people in a room,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
having it, and
We done like one proper festival. It was all. I remember it was all like sectioned off.
On tables like this,
Yeah,
wasn't
there was
it? Yeah.
tables, and then there was like little string around each area.
Yeah, you
And
went
then
up
we
to go on
done
someone
one,
else's on someone else's table and all that.
And then we done like one pre-recorded live stream, didn't we? And that
Yeah,
was it was
from
just
our
like,
kitchen.
It weren't for us. We need to be in front of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Makes sense. Oh,
So
fair enough.
that all combined together meant there was a 4-year gap while we did nothing, basically.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Thanks for
So
having us,
welcome
yeah.
back. It's great to have you. So all that aside, for an indoor pets show compared to a festival show, I know you haven't played for 5 years, but do you change the set list up accordingly to like if people are not familiar with yourselves, say, do you want to break the bangers in?
Definitely a bit, yeah. There's I mean, we're on the second album campaign right now, so we've got 2 albums worth of stuff to pull from.
Yep.
So like our headline shows are like an hour and 10 or something, and like a festival start's automatically going to chop that down a bit because we're not going to be playing for that long. And so yeah, we do play a couple of.
I'd say even then we like sort of we are or have been in the past quite good at like in our opinion, picking a crowd, like picking songs for the festival. Like,
Yeah,
we weren't
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
play
yeah.
all of like, a few of them. We weren't gonna play all of them like
All the
cheesy,
the slow ones, right?
Or
Bin
any
that
like
off.
the slow, slow one. So yeah, I guess in a way we do something.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Cater to the festival or venue we're playing.
Yeah.
So us as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you familiar with the Sophie Story
I've heard
Foundation?
of it, but I don't know enough about.
So basically, in 2007, Sophie and her boyfriend were walking through a park after a night out, and basically a gang of 5 kids attacked them, and Sophie never woke up from the coma she was put in. And her boyfriend, Rob, fortunately did, but his life's never been the same.
Yeah.
And they didn't know these people. There's no rhyme or reason. The only reason they did it is because of the way they were dressed, because they were goths.
Yeah.
That's literally it. So basically, we're talking to bands because we are one big alternative family here to find out if you guys have ever experienced being treated differently, had stereotypes put upon you, simply because the music you listen to or the way you dress that
Yeah,
day.
completely. Like we grew up in Kent, in small towns, and like even just having long hair would single you out. That was like a thing. Dressing in black, anything like that was always like a warning thing. Used to get beaten up going home after a night out all the time. It was like regular. That was like your Friday night where we grew up.
When we were younger, yeah, I'd say like less.
Less so now, I think.
Like, even I've got like some people I work with that are a bit younger, and they'll be listening to like house music one minute, and then like I don't know, like Black Peaks the next. So it's like they've almost got like a better appreciation. Maybe it's to do with technology. They've got like a better appreciation and almost like a better. Not that like our generation was don't have like sort of big choice of genres to choose from. But I don't know. I mean, as an adult, it doesn't happen. But as a kid,
Yeah, definitely. When I was like 16 or something like that.
Yeah. It seems to be the general consensus we've had a lot this weekend is like when I was a kid, or when I was in school.
Yeah. I think as you get bigger, I think they begin to leave you alone. I think anyone who's going out on a mission to beat someone
Classic
up,
sign of picking on the weak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly
exactly that. But obviously, when we were kids, and then what happened to Sophie, the world's so different now. You fast forward to 2024, it's a completely different world. Do you think it's easier now to be part of this alternative culture? Is there still a lot of work to be done, do you reckon?
I think it could be. There's still. I think it's mostly the older generations are still a little bit like walled garden about it, where they're like, "This is my thing, and I love this thing, and I don't want to let anyone in."
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Yeah, but I think the kids like. So I'm a sound engineer for a living, and like the shows that I see, like rap shows, there's as many goth kids at rap shows now as there is, and then like you see people who don't look like it might be their first hardcore show, but it's not. They're like loving it. They're and I think that is probably to do with this like blending of genres, where like kids are far less like you can only listen to this one thing and that's my thing, and it's more welcoming in both ways. Like people that will listen to Turnstile will listen to Trippie Redd or something, and it's like they're completely separate things, but both the shows have mosh pits and they're generally pretty respectful of each other. I'd say still in heavy music we look after each other a bit better at shows, and I love that. I think that's really important. I think it will get better slowly, but it's still got some way to go, I think. Yeah.
Amazing. I think you're absolutely right. I think we are on the up. I think it is getting better, but still some work to do. Taking it back to you guys, you released your album Pathetic Apathetic back in May, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
How was the reception for the album been?
It's been good. We didn't really know what to expect because we'd had that big gap.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know how it was going to go. We always have like ridiculously high hopes, and like we put that out with a friend of ours, Jack, on Alcopop Records, and like he was someone we worked with when we very first started this band, like 2016 or something. So like nearly 8-9 years. He's like in the scene, and he just does it because he loves it, not because he thinks he can make $1 million or anything else. He'll like, if he likes something, he will help you to every level that he can.
That's awesome. That's what you want.
The best. And we did a tour with that, and that was great. We did some really good shows around the UK. We're hoping to get out elsewhere, but we're not sure yet.
No doubt you will be touring all over the world, gentlemen. But no, like I said, it's amazing to have you back, and thank you so much for sitting and chatting with us today. It means the absolute world.
Yeah, thanks so much. Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, I'm Elsa, I'm the guitarist of the band.
I'm Kyla, I'm the singer.
You literally came just the right time. We're just introducing ourselves.
Perfect. I'm Poppy, guitarist.
And I'm Faye, I'm on bass.
Lovely. Pleasure to meet you, Faye, by the way. I'm just joining in now. Thank you for joining us. First things first, how are your personal Saturdays treating you?
It's good. I'm glad it's not raining.
Yes. This morning was a concern. Yeah.
A bit worried.
No, but I've been saying I hope it rains just for our set, because we're in a tent.
Oh, I see. So draw people in. Okay.
So.
Only around the tent. Only around the tent. Nowhere else. Just in the vicinity of the House of Women set.
And
Yeah.
also it has to stop straight after.
To us.
Yes.
Everyone runs to us.
Yeah.
House of Women are playing. Fucking run! We must see them. We must see them now. Love it. Absolutely love it. Are you excited to play, by the way?
Very, yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Last year we played the Forest stage.
Oh, okay.
So this is like a level up.
I don't think we've ever actually played in a tent, ever.
Yeah, that's true. This
I
is
think
our
it's our
first
first
time.
time in a tent.
Holy shit. Buzzing. I love it. That's going to be incredible. I wish you all the best with it later on, by the way. So, for a House of Women set, like, say, show, say, compared to a festival set, do you change your set list up accordingly, depending on, to bring the new people in, like, just drop all the bangers?
Well, it depends. It depends on like whether it's headline or opening. Because if we're doing a headline, we just do everything we can. But for something like this, we do like the bangers. Yeah.
Well, this is all heavy and just bam, that's it.
Yeah, we extended the kind of the very beginning, which was just drums. It's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, we've tried to
Right.
sort of
Audience
hype
up.
the set up for this because it's a shorter set.
Yeah.
So.
I love how much thought you've put into this. Like,
Oh,
come on,
yeah.
come on, we're going to get them all in today. Even doing rain dances, apparently. But no, as a podcast, we are ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you familiar with Sophie and the story?
Yeah, we read
Yeah.
on the website.
So basically, obviously, all of us here at Trees were one big alternative family. It's amazing. We're all here together, feeling safe, being who you can be. But we'll speak to people this weekend to find out if you've ever experienced that, had stereotypes put upon you, or treated differently just because the music you listen to, the way you dress, whatever it may be, being part. Is this something you've experienced yourselves?
I think I'm fortunate enough to say that like I've not been bullied in a way of not, I've been called a poser, which I don't like. but no, like I'm really fortunate enough to not have experienced that. So
That's good.
It's a good thing. We're growing.
It's a very
as
good
a
thing, yeah.
Society, though.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't experienced like anything really bad. But I used to live in Austria. I used to live in Vienna, which is a much more traditional place. And I wanted to sort of experiment more with the way I looked, but it was like you got a lot of stares. I had pink hair, and going to school I was like stared down on the street. So it's more like that, but I wasn't like sort of nothing verbal really. But it was more like living there, I was nervous to go too crazy with how I looked, and moving back to London was really nice because everyone's a lot more accepting.
But even that in itself, that's bad enough. You shouldn't expect to be looked at and not be able to be yourself. What about you guys? Is this something you've experienced?
Not really with how I look, I think. I dress quite basic. But I think like at school and stuff, like in year 8, loads of people were listening to like drill.
I don't even know what that is. How old am I?
Like UK rap.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes I'll be like, oh, like I like Nirvana, and they'll be like, oh, okay, like, but yeah. But yeah, I don't know, it's really nice to come to Trees and just, everyone's just doing what they do and happy and being who they are.
Surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Like, growing up, I went to an all-girls school, which was lovely for me because I didn't have any boys, no offense.
That's all right.
What is leave?
But I didn't have any boys to be mean to me. I always had nice friends, so we kind of were really weird together, me and my friendship group. So I feel quite comfortable in who I am because of my friends, because of the people. People are so beautiful. When you're around the right people, it's amazing.
Absolutely. We both had very different experiences of same-sex schools. That's all I'm going to say.
So you went to an all-boys school, right?
I went to an all-boys school. Yeah.
There we go. That's the problem.
Yeah. Sorry.
What's the issue?
Sorry.
It's us, mate.
Where was the boys' school?
Birmingham. So,
okay, nice.
that says it all, really. Oh. Don't worry, I know, don't worry. But obviously, when we were growing up, and what happened to Sophie was a very different world. Now you fast forward to 2024, do you think it's a lot easier to be part of this community now than it was back then, or still work to do?
Sorry. I think sort of it's one way where social media is kind of good because it's easier to find your community and sort of like find people that enjoy the same sort of stuff as you. And I think, I don't know, I do also think people are becoming more accepting.
Yeah.
But I also think it's very much where you are. Because like I said, like London, for me, I think is a really, like there are so many different types of people that dress differently, look differently. And then I think, especially starting music and coming to festivals like this, it's just a really amazing community of people that just like really don't judge. So I think,
I was gonna say as well, like jumping from secondary school to college, because I went to a music college, luckily.
And you were alright then.
No, I mean it's, you know, I auditioned, I did the whole thing. But I definitely saw a change, and like from what I used to listen to, I was never like all the time, but now I am, and I was able to do that. And even seeing my secondary school friends coming to my gigs now, I can see the change in like, oh, so she does this. And it's like, yeah, I got more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think what you were saying is very important. We've spoken to so many people this weekend. They're like, oh, I'm from Bristol, I'm from Brighton, yeah, it's great. And then you've had other people like, oh, I come from this small village where basically I was ousted and chased with pitchforks.
Oh,
so yeah, I think that is a massive part of it as well. It
Where
really
you
is.
grew up can really affect how much you're willing to sort of express yourself. You know?
I mean, I'm the most countryside person out of us four. I grew up in Buckinghamshire, High Wycombe area, so it's close to London, but it was still a village. And like one time I went out I wasn't even wearing anything crazy, but I was in, and I made the mistake of going into the Spoons, and then this lady started talking to me. She's like, "Are you French?" Like. She started speaking to me in French. She was like, bonjour, and I was like, hello. She thought I was French because I was wearing clothes which were different from normal clothes. Because I was wearing like a nice blazer or something. So she was like, are you French? Because people just aren't used to seeing anything out of the normal, I think.
When I asked earlier if it had any stereotypes put against you, I was not expecting the answer to be someone thought I was French.
That's fucking brilliant. She literally started speaking to me in French. Oh my god! I was like, I'm from the same town as you. Why are you speaking to me in French?
That's fucking crazy.
and then she took a picture of me and asked if she could put it on Facebook. Oh no!
Someone took a picture of me once outside our college. This woman was like, I'm a like fashion photographer. Can I take a picture of you and post it on my Instagram? And she tagged me. And I looked at it afterwards, and it was quite possibly the worst photo I've ever seen in my life. It had like a weird Instagram filter over it, and I was standing like this. It was really weird.
Was yours like, if you see this girl, she isn't French. Just public service announcement.
Be careful in the local Spoons.
But bringing it back to you guys, you released your single Overgrown back in May. Is there more stuff on the way?
Hopefully. I think we're sort of focusing on writing now. Sort of
working on an upcoming EP.
Yeah.
Still baby stages.
Yeah.
Still baby stages. Amazing. Guys, absolutely smash it on that stage today.
Thank you so
and
much.
thank you so much for taking the time to sit and chat with us. It's been amazing. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We'll go underneath. There we are.
Sorry, I do apologise.
My name's Mark. I'm the drummer in Every Hell.
I'm Toby, I play guitar in Every Hell.
Lovely stuff, and a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining us. So, how's your personal Saturday treating you?
It's been alright so far. Haven't been up for very long, but
nice.
It's been alright, yeah. We just watched our mates and Peach. Who
Oh,
were
nice.
Amazing. And watched Pizza Tramp this morning, who were fucking hilarious. They're amazing. Check them out. Very good.
Yeah. I haven't done anything yet. Oh, I watched a bit of Peach. Which was
Okay.
yeah.
You always find when you get to the last day, you always be like, I got up at like midday, I just chilled a little bit, like everyone's like hanging out their arse a little bit now, so it's just like, yeah, it's fine. I got up, I had a bit of coffee. You know, whereas on the first day, like, fucking hell, it's going to be unbelievable, we're going to go see this, man, it's going to be the best weekend ever. So yeah, but how was the set?
We haven't played yet.
You haven't played yet?
No, we're on at 3.
Fuck, do apologise. I've even written yet to play on my notes and still fucked that up. Wonderful. Sorry guys, do apologise.
Cut that bit out.
Okay, let's try that again. Excited to play later?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, can't wait. Been coming to Trees for like 12 years now, so it's just gonna be wicked to get just the chance to play, really.
Like a home away from home.
One of my favourite stages in the world, man. Like playing on the Cave, absolutely love it. Following
Incredible.
some crazy bands. Like we saw Empire State Bastards last night, so.
Yeah,
what did you say? You were like literally taking the throne from Dave Lombardo.
Yeah, it's not as grandiose as that in reality. But it was a bit like, oh, okay.
The bar has been set. Yeah.
What a guy.
With an Every Hell show, say to an Every Hell festival set, do you change sets accordingly to, like, if people aren't so familiar with yourselves, say, like, you want to throw all the bangers in?
Just to fit in the allotted time, really. It's been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had a practice on Sunday just gone, and we were like, fuck, we've only got 30 minutes at Trees. We've been playing like a 40-minute set for the past few days. Like, fuck, okay, we need to rewrite this. And yeah, we just kind of went through it, but we were just like, let's just play.
It is kind of banger laden in terms of the songs we cut out were the kind of more generally speaking the moody.
You struggled to cut anything out, was that? It was like, which song do we drop?
A little bit. I mean, I think we were all kind of unanimous on it a little bit, but yeah, I just like they're all really good songs. So it's hard. It's hard to
get rid of.
Yeah, it's hard making that decision. So
it's like picking your least favourite child instead of your favourite, as I normally say.
Yeah. Well, I think festival sets should be just bangers anyway. You know, like at the end of the day, I think festivals like you play to a crowd that maybe a lot of people haven't seen you before. So it's all about winning that crowd over, and you know you just got to play the bangers, right? You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is like literally our first sort of foray, really, because we've got 3 singles out, and we've only been like a proper band since I don't know December or something.
Yeah, December last year.
So a lot of people won't have heard us before. And
This is like our 8th gig or something.
Yeah.
Fair play, 8th gig, 3 singles, been banned less than a year, and you're playing at 2,000 Trees.
Yeah, I don't really know what the fuck has happened.
We have no right being here. We are complete shy.
Every right being here. So, us as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you familiar with Sophie and her story?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, my other band Skin Failure played on the Sophie Lancaster stage at Bloodstock last year.
Yes, of course.
I remember speaking to you guys about it then.
Yeah. So basically, what we're trying to do this weekend, we're just chatting to bands to find out, because we're all one big alternative family, especially at festivals. Is this something you've ever had to experience yourself? You've been treated differently, had stereotypes put up on you, just simply because of the way you dress, the music you listen to, just being part of this community?
Yeah. Definitely at school and stuff. Like.
Yeah, definitely when I was younger. Not so much these days because surrounded by like-minded people. I get it more from my family these days, actually. Obviously, that's like in a loving way, but yeah, definitely like in school and that. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, obviously, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of pricks out there, really, isn't it? Like,
yeah. It seems to be a lot of people have said when I was in school.
Kids are just fucking horrible, aren't they, man? At the end of the day, like, just like
and it depends where you grew up as well. Like, you know,
absolutely.
I grew up in Reading, and like just walking down the street, it wasn't unusual. I used to have long hair, believe it or not, and yeah, it wasn't unusual. Just people shout hippie or whatever at you, and it's quite a regular occurrence. Like, but yeah, I don't know.
You find a lot of people say like, yeah, I had abuse hurled at me in the street. You get used to it. I'm like,
you really
do, but you shouldn't. It's
yeah, you really shouldn't have to. But yeah.
Yeah,
that is the
I
reality.
experienced it myself. I was the same. I had long dyed black hair when I was a kid, and just all sorts of things shouted at me in the streets. My favourite one is still, did you grow up in Gotham City? But still.
Kids.
Yeah.
I remember we got shouted at, and there was some kids like sat in the
That's tickled
church
you.
in the graveyard or something, and they shouted like hippie at us or something, and my mate's retort was just like graveyard. And then, Just like just sat in a graveyard drinking White Lightning, shouting hippie at people. It's kind of cool, I suppose. Maybe they were cool.
I'd be quite happy doing that now.
Yeah.
But obviously, when we were growing up and when what happened to Sophie, it's a very different world now in 2024. Do you think it's easier to be part of this community now, especially for younger people, than it was back then?
It's hard, isn't it? Because you kind of, to some extent, we're all in this bubble a little bit. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think it's a bit more accepted.
Yeah, I mean, just as an example, like tattoo culture, I think is getting more and more mainstream and common now. See a lot more people with tattoos and everything. So, I suppose like 10, 15, 20 odd years ago, like if you had tattoos, then you were maybe a bit of an outcast or whatever. Whereas now it's like, a lot of people have them. So it's, I suppose like alternative culture is maybe getting a bit more accepted by the wider culture. But like you said, it's hard to tell because we live in a bubble, right? It's, but I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful. But
that's what we're like. Yeah. I think it is. I think we've been talking about social media a lot this weekend and how it's a bit of a double-edged sword because you've got that. Oh, I can find my people on here, but at the same time, you're like, I'm hoping to abuse from arseholes.
Yeah.
It's a weird world we're living in. But bring it back to you guys. You released your latest single earlier this month. How has it been released? Have been received, rather?
Really good. Yeah. I don't know.
I let you be the judge of this. People have not stopped emailing me and phoning me about the single. I'm sure you've been the same, right?
Getting hounded by the pap on a daily.
It's disgusting, actually.
Yeah, it's been pretty fucking horrible, actually. Thanks for asking. No, it's good. Yeah, it's good. We've had, I've had a lot of my mates coming up to me and being like, haven't stopped singing Reverie. It's so catchy and everything. It's like, great, that's exactly what I want to hear.
That's exactly what you want to hear, isn't it?
But yeah, like we were saying, we're such a new band, it's kind of still treading water a little bit at the moment. We're like still putting the feelers out and like, I know, it's just difficult to gauge at the moment, but I suppose we'll find out at 3 o'clock when we play it and see the reaction of the crowds.
When it's rammed in there and people are like flooding in and then they can't get in the tent and it's going to be disgusting.
Hopefully.
So when everyone's singing it back to you, you run back in and you're like, guys, it went great! Everyone loves it!
We'll ask us afterwards and we'll tell you.
Incredible. Gents, thank you so much for taking the time out and sit chat with us. It means the absolute world. Really appreciate it.
Enjoy.
Have an incredible set.
Hope all goes well later.
Cheers.
Thank you, Ryan. Cheers.
I'm Danny with Amigo the Devil.
This is how the world made me.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
you
I
for
listened to
your
us
time.
on the Mechanic last night and I just thought this is the fucking most stunningest song I've ever listened to. Absolutely love what you do, so it's incredible. Thank you so much, man.
I appreciate you having me.
That's always an absolute pleasure to have you here. So, first things first, how's your personal Saturday treating you?
Slow.
Yeah.
Slow. Yeah, we got here about, I don't know, maybe 2 hours ago now. I haven't really done much.
No? Okay.
No, I threw the bottle around the field for a while. That's about it.
Oh, fun. Not going to check anybody out or anything like that?
Oh, I saw every hell.
Oh, how was that?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Blew me away. Yeah, that's the only band I've seen so far, so to say they're the best of the day is a fair
I mean,
assumption.
you get to play yet?
Best of the day for me.
Yeah, okay.
The only one for me.
Yeah. So obviously you're playing a little bit later on. Like, are you excited for the show?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I used to not like festivals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to hate playing festivals. I don't even remember why, but at some point I realized that I just couldn't bring the club mentality into the festival set.
Yeah.
And once I started kind of clicking into that mode of, okay, this is fun. I'm a depressing guy. This is fun. We're having a good time here. then it made it very, very easy to kind of let loose on the familiarity of what we do every night on tour. So now I love playing them.
Good.
Because I never know what's going to happen.
And I'm sure it's going to be a packed house later on tonight. So
I don't know. It's our first time here.
The thing with 2000 Trees is everybody loves to check out new music. Everyone loves to check out stuff they've never heard before.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to watch you later. So
Thank you.
I'm buzzing. Anyway, sorry. So with an Amigo the Devil show, like you were just saying about Club Night compared to an Amigo the Devil festival show, do you change your set list up accordingly? So it's like people might not be so familiar with yourself, so just drop all the bangers in?
Nope. I kind of... All right, so the way we do it, I have a set list that we write, and then the band sees it, and then they know I'm not going to follow any of it.
Okay.
So yeah. We have a set list, and
then you have your own one.
And then I have and then I have my moments.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really important not just to... I feel like it's always impossible to tell the mood of anywhere, whether it's a show on tour, whether it's a festival. Sometimes, people are just having a collective moment amongst themselves where they're not really in that high energy spirit, or if it's too hot that day, or they saw just exhaustion. And so at that point, I'll make a decision to kind of guide them back into energy the best we can. Or the opposite. If I have a set list with just a bunch of, really bummer bangers, then and they want some hype music, then we'll switch it up to kind of feed that instead.
Yeah. I mean, if that's not the name of your greatest hits album, I'm going to be disappointed.
Bummer bangers.
So, this is a podcast we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you aware of Sophie and her story at all?
Nope.
No, so basically, in 2007, Sophie and her boyfriend were walking through a park on the way home from a night out, and they were attacked by a gang of youths, and Sophie never woke up from the coma she was put in, lost her life. Her boyfriend Rob fortunately did, but his life was never quite the same afterwards. And this all happened simply because they were goths. No more rhyme or reason, they didn't know these kids, that was it. So we're basically talking to bands at this festival about the alternative culture and the alternative family, and whether that's something you've experienced in your life, being treated differently, had stereotypes put upon you just because of the music you listen to or the way you're dressed.
Yeah, growing up, that was a massive. I'm trying to use my word carefully because I haven't thought about it in a long time. I grew up in Miami, Florida, and it was very, very heavily Latin-based culture that wasn't... They were terrified of anything outside of the church, essentially, for the most part.
Yeah.
And I was the first kid in school to have tattoos. Started getting them when I was like 14.
Oh.
And that's why they're so bad. And
great to me.
And I used to, dye my hair and all that. And growing up out there, it wasn't very typical. So I remember being... I guess it taught me how to find my own world and how to build it and how to essentially create a world where we were comfortable living in, and we would go to shows because we felt safe at shows. I rode BMX when I was young, and all my BMX buddies were all weirdos and whatever. So we built that world, but I remember thinking how much I hated that we had to build it instead of just being able to have it. But I will say, it's really cool to see how many counterculture style, like all just alternative lifestyles in general. I hate the word counterculture, but I'm like, why did I use that? I was like, that's the worst word. I love seeing a lot of the communities that were kind of shoved aside when I was growing up, to see them flourishing and thriving. damn, I'm sorry. I'm a little frazzled because I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Yeah, it's all good. No,
it's wild. I used to get. I don't know. I guess I was always a really mean kid too. Like I never. I was picked on a lot, but I was also wildly rage-filled child.
Yeah.
So.
But at the same time, it's good that you stood up for yourself and didn't let them do this, you know.
That's kind of what I was just wondering. I was wondering, did I stand up for myself or did I bully back? And now I don't know. I don't know if I actually stood up for myself in a sense of defending my choices.
Yeah.
Or if I just attacked theirs.
I get what you mean, yeah.
And I think this is in the moment stuff. Groundbreaking science right now we're figuring out. You know what I mean? So I don't have the answers yet, but we're figuring it out. I don't think I've ever considered the possibility of that being an option.
Yeah.
We're sorry to put the mood down, by the way. I promise we'll lift it back up in a minute.
No, we don't have to. This is where I live.
Yeah.
But obviously, when you were growing up, and back in 2007, when what happened to Sophie, and when we were growing up, 2024 is a very different world. Do you think it's easier now to be part of that alternative subculture, or is there still work to be done, do you reckon?
I think it's easier to look at it at an older age and assume that it's easier because it's more available. There's shops you can go buy the physical lifestyle at. There's more access to it in mainstream media in terms of, you know, bands that fit that description. But I don't know if the kids that are in it growing up feel that way because I'm not there. So I don't know if they still feel misunderstood or misrepresented. I don't know. I don't know if maybe it affects them differently that it is available, because for me, I remember taking a little bit of pride in having to hunt down that band tee, having to write in for cassettes and finding the obscure bands. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a double-edged sword, like the way we've been talking a lot about social media this weekend, and how
don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate social media.
But this is the thing we're talking about, because there is that double-edged sword of, yes, you can find your people, that you can find like-minded people that listen to the same bands as you, but at the same time you are open to utter assholes, and that's where it's finding that line in the middle.
Yeah, I cannot even process the cruelty online.
Yeah.
Especially with generations that were raised online. It's not their fault. It's the world. And for them to have to rely on a cruel society, which is the online society, to mold themselves as humans, that's terrifying. I can't imagine what they go through.
Yeah.
At all. Ugh. Yeah. I don't know. Everything's hard. Just don't grow up. Don't stay young either, though. Don't do anything.
So obviously, we'll bring it back to yourself. How about we do that instead? So you obviously released your brand new record, Yours Until the World Is Over, back in February.
Yep.
Are you still riding high from that, or?
Nah.
No? Okay.
That's old.
What's next?
That's old.
So is that new stuff on the way in?
Yep. I'm going to play a new song today.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. I've been writing a lot. It's hard with the records because, you know, that record was done 7 months before releasing it.
Oh, shit, okay.
So for me, I'm sitting there, I'm just like... And then we put it out, and everyone hears it for the first time. Hell yeah, that's a...
The Bloody Mary station's getting a lot of eyes on it today.
Yeah, sorry, I'm... Okay. What was I even saying?
Basically, you released your album, you sat on it that long, now you're sick of it.
We haven't even played most of it live yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of support tours, which is odd for us. We don't do that much support.
Yeah.
I mean, now we do. So we don't play too much of the new record in the shorter sets. And the first run we're going to get to do is in the fall. So in the fall, we'll actually be able to play most of the record. And then I'll really be sick of it.
Amazing. Right, Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. It means the absolute world. It's been a real blast. We look forward to seeing you later.
Thank you for your time.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.